There was once a farmer named Adams who lived in a quiet village in Africa, surrounded by wide fields, tall trees, and red soil warmed by the sun. His land yielded enough crops to keep him alive, yet his heart never felt at peace. While others of the village laughed and rested after their work, Adams remained distant and withdrawn. His body labored in the fields, but his mind was always somewhere else. From sunrise to sunset, Adams worried about tomorrow. He feared drought, sickness, failure, and loss. Even on good days, his thoughts were heavy with imagined disasters. Problems that had not yet happened felt real to him. Overthinking slowly became his way of life, and anxiety followed him like a constant companion. No matter how much he achieved, he felt incomplete, as though something vital was missing from his soul. At night, while the village slept, Adams lay awake staring at the ceiling of his small hut, replaying the past and fearing the future. His mind never rested. Questions without answers circled endlessly in his head. Over time, the weight of his thoughts became unbearable. One morning, before the sun had fully risen, Adams made a decision. He would leave the village, not out of hope, but exhaustion. He believed that somewhere beyond familiar paths, he might find relief from his restless mind. Without telling anyone, he began walking, passing forests, dry plains, and dusty roads. His legs grew tired, yet his thoughts followed him wherever he went. After many hours, Adams reached a violent, fast-flowing river. The water crashed against sharp rocks, roaring like an angry beast. A narrow wooden bridge stretched across it, swaying with the wind. Fear gripped him. Crossing could mean death, but going back felt like surrender. As he stood frozen between choice and fear, he noticed a man standing silently near the bridge. The man wore a black hood that shadowed his face. His eyes glowed red, and his presence drained warmth from the air. He did not smile. Adams felt his heart sink, for he knew without being told, this was death. Death let out a hollow laugh and spoke calmly. "Listen carefully, human. Before sunrise tomorrow, I will come to your village and take 50 people with me." Terror surged through Adams' body. Without another word, he turned and ran. He ran until his lungs burned and his legs shook, driven by fear and guilt. When he reached his African village, he gathered everyone and told them what he had seen and heard. Panic spread like wildfire. Mothers clutched their children, elders whispered prayers. No one slept that night. Fear filled every home. When dawn arrived, tragedy struck. Not 50, but 500 people collapsed and died suddenly. The village was drowned in grief. Cries echoed through the air. Adams fell to his knees, overwhelmed by sorrow and rage. He felt betrayed, tricked, and responsible. Blinded by anger and grief, Adams returned to the river to confront death and demand justice. Death stood in the same place as before, calm and unmoved, a faint smile on his face. "You have come back," Death said softly. "You lied," Adams shouted. "You promised to take only 50 lives, yet 500 people are gone. What sin did they commit to deserve such cruelty?" Death replied in a steady voice, "I took only 50. Fear and worry took the rest." Adams froze. Then Death spoke again, his words heavy with truth. "Worry and fear can destroy more lives than I ever could. Humans suffer more in their thoughts than in reality. You believe that by worrying, you gain control, but life is unpredictable. It is a mixture of chance and effort." Death continued, "The more you step forward, take risks, and act despite fear, the greater your chances become. You cannot succeed if you never try." Waiting for the perfect moment or obsessing over every possible outcome only keeps you trapped. Overthinking, Death explained, steals time, peace, and life itself. It makes you suffer once in your imagination, and again if things do not go your way. Some things will always remain beyond your control. Take action, Death said. Trust yourself. Accept uncertainty. As a wise commander once said, to worry is to suffer twice. Do not let fear steal the life you were meant to live. With those words, Death vanished. Adams returned to his village, forever changed. He still worked the land, but he no longer let fear rule his mind. When worries came, he acknowledged them and let them pass. He learned to live one day at a time, understanding that life was never meant to be fully controlled, only fully lived. And if this story stirred something deep within you, perhaps it is because you were meant to hear it. A quiet reminder that you are not alone, and that peace begins when worry ends.